it's Ava and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing another squishy makeover. Pretend that one's not there. We didn't have time to finish it. Anyways, I'm really excited for this squishy makeover, so let's just get started. So we're gonna start off with this little paw. My idea was to make it look like my dog's paw. This is my dog, by the way, if you didn't know. Go follow him on Instagram and get him to 100 followers. Okay, back to the thing the video's
actually about.
I filled the hole with fabric paint and extra foam, and the paint I was gonna use was dry, so I just decided to use a lighter version that I could find, and you'll see that throughout this video I use this paint for literally everything. Like, I think this is one of my most used colors. So now starts the long process of tan coats on a very small squishy. It looks like it didn't take that much time, but when I tell you, it took so long. And then a bunch of little holes decided to show up, so it took even longer to fill all of those. But pretty much the whole painting process of this squishy was just the tan coats and then the little designs at the end, and then I was done. So it didn't take that long. I think I finished this one first, but it still was time consuming. Patching this hole from the little hook thing was kind of annoying because it was bubbled out at the end, and I wanted the finished squishy to look good, so I made the decision to cut the thing off in the middle of painting. Now, normally I wouldn't do this if I already painted over everything, but it was easy to fix it and that thing was just ugly, and honestly I'm glad I cut it off. Now for the designs on the paw print, I decided to go with a darker brown color and not a black because I feel like black would have been too harsh and just made it
the colors just wouldn't fit, if that makes sense.
So I went with a really dark brown, and I feel like this helped a lot. And honestly, painting on these little designs was really satisfying for me, so I'm gonna shut up and just let you watch. And here is the before and after. I like the way this turned out.
It's really shiny.
I don't know if it looks exactly like my dog's paw, but it's pretty close in my opinion. Now moving on to this elephant squishy, I'm starting by cutting off that weird little ribbon around its neck. This thing was really annoying and there's still little parts of it on my desk. For some reason it was really hard for me to pick a color for this one, but I decided on doing the details in light purple and just painting it light blue. Now this was a process and it took a really long time to paint this thing's whole body, so I'm just going to talk about random things while I paint. I wanted to do this one because this is one of the ones I had an idea for as soon as I saw it. My idea for this one was to make it like a little cutesy, shy looking elephant. I don't know why I got that idea. I never make anything
shy,
but I just wanted to do it for some reason. This took so long. Oh my god, I'm just gonna magically finish. Watch.
Oh my god, it's done.
At this point, I decided to take a break from painting the body, so I just moved on to the ears. I chose a light pink for this because I just thought that would look cute and
oh my god, I'm so shy, haha.
So yeah, that was pretty much my goal for this squishy. Honestly, painting the ears was one of my favorite things to do for this because it was easy. It only took one coat and it actually looked good,
in my opinion.
So after I finished painting the ears, I decided to start painting the body. This was a process, and honestly, I was starting to run out of paint, so it just made the process even harder. But I remember when I was first downloading the clips to edit this video, I saw that painting the head took me 15 minutes and painting the body took me somewhere around 20 minutes, which...
How do you spend that long painting something, but okay.
Since we have time to talk, I'm going to take this time to ask you to hit like and subscribe for more videos like this. It helps me out more than you think, and honestly, it makes me really happy too. So yeah, hit like and subscribe and follow me on everything else that I have linked in the description, and back to the video. So I decided to paint the bottom off camera, but here's me fixing it because there was a lot of air bubbles and it just needed another layer. I swear to God, if that dog does not stop barking. So for the little...
What's that thing called? I don't know what it's called.
I decided to take that little tan color I was talking about earlier and do the little designs the trunk. That's what it's called. Sorry, that took me a minute. I have no idea why.
I am just that stupid.
Now this part was stressful. Figuring out the eyes was just annoying. I forgot how to paint eyes on squishies or something because I kept doing it wrong on every single squishy. But eventually I did figure it out. I started going with the black, but after a while I just realized that I just didn't like that vibe, so I switched to the purple, and I'm so happy I did because 1, I forgot I was supposed to do details in purple, and 2, it just looks 10 times better. So after that dried, I just went back and covered up the black with purple, and honestly, I think the black and purple looks kind of cool together. I kind of want to do that on a squishy. So I wanted to make the eyes really big and cute, so I decided to draw a little big little big. Yeah, that's English. I decided to draw some circles off to the side so it looks like it was looking to the side, and here's me painting on the eyelashes. The eyelashes did turn out kind of chunky, but you know what? It's cute. It's fine. While I was painting this, I decided that I want to name this for some reason, so I decided to name her
Sheila the Shy Elephant.
I think that's adorable, and if you don't, fight me. I'm just kidding, but like,
It's cute.
anyways, now I'm just painting on the highlights. Painting highlights is literally one of my favorite parts, unless I mess it up. And now I'm just adding blush because I wanted her to have like a very strong blush because, you know,
She's shy.
So here is the before and after. I personally like the after a lot better. I love the design I did, except for the ribbon that just won't go away.
We don't talk about that.
But yeah, I really like this one. It's not my favorite, but I still like it. Now moving on to this little pair,
Oh, I dropped it.
I don't think I've ever done a set of squishies before, and I wanted to do one because they look really fun. By a set, I mean like 2 or more squishies that match each other in designs or just go together. So for my first one, I decided to go with Mickey and Minnie Mouse. I chose them because I already had the squishies and it would be really simple to just paint the designs on.
Or so I thought.
Yeah, this was actually a lot more complicated and took a lot more time than I thought it would, but in the end I like the way it turned out, and if you guys like it too, then it's worth it. So the one I'm going to show you first is Minnie Mouse. This one took me longer than the Mickey Mouse one did, only because the bow still had to be done and I was doing them at the same time. Like, this one had more detail than the other one did, but other than that, they're pretty similar designs, so I finished them around the same time. So I started painting the bow, and then I realized that I should probably do everything else before I do that, because it's kind of like a final detail, if that makes sense. So for the skin for this one, I decided to take that tan color again and lighten it up a little bit by adding white. This took a few coats, but it didn't take that many. If anything, I had to do more coats on the other one. The eyes on this one were actually pretty hard to paint because they kept getting uneven, but I did figure it out eventually. Painting on the face was kind of like
Really hard.
I mean, at least it was for me, only because I have shaky hands and I kept messing up literally everything I just made. But for the details, I really tried to focus and like make my hands not shake, but it just... No, I can't paint a straight line. Okay, well, I'm gonna skip to when I have this face completed, and I'm just gonna warn you right now, it is a little bit scary, but you'll be okay. Yeah, I accidentally made the lines outside the eyes too big, so I'm just fixing those because they were scary. So after I fixed all of that, I moved on to the bow. This was probably my favorite part of painting this squishy because honestly, it was probably the easiest. And I think the bow made it 10 times better. And also, I noticed in some pictures it was red and then other pictures it was pink, so I just decided to go with pink. Then I just added the little polka dots to the bow, and this part was honestly really fun too. Changed my mind. This was my favorite part. And now I'm just fixing up all of the edges that got messed up and painting on the little tongue because I forgot to do this before. And now moving on to the Mickey Mouse squishy. This was pretty much the same painting process, except I messed up the little edges by the bottom of the face, so it was a little bit more complicated than the last one. Also, I had to do a lot of layers of the tan color to cover up the black spots, and I'm pretty sure finishing the base for this one was the longest process of this whole video. Like, this took me longer than it did to paint the elephant. But now I'm painting on the face, and there's Minnie Mouse in the background.
Hi.
This time it was easier for me to paint the face because I actually had an idea of what I was doing, but for some reason it got even scarier. And here's your warning, I'm going to warn you now, it's still scary, it didn't get any better, but I'll show you now. Yeah, it got even worse. If Minnie Mouse wasn't scary enough, there's that. Fast forwarding to after I fixed it, thank God I did decide to fix it because
That was probably the scariest squishy I've ever seen.
so here's me painting on the tongue, and this was surprisingly easy. I thought I was going to struggle with it. And here's the before and after for both squishies. I really like the way both of these turned out. I think they turned out kind of cute. I'm glad they got a little less scary towards the end. But if you want me to do more squishy sets, let me know because this was honestly pretty fun and I really enjoyed doing it. Now moving on to our final squishy. This was another one that I had an idea for as soon as I saw it. I noticed that the neck looked a little bit like tall and awkward, so I decided to make this one like an awkward looking unicorn, and I named him Fred because he just looks like a Fred. But I decided to go with white for the base color. I didn't do too many coats of this. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit transparent. It kind of turned out looking like an off-white or a cream color, which I was okay with. So as you just saw, my gold paint dried out, so I was gonna do the details in gold, but obviously I didn't have a lot of paint, and the little bit of paint I did have dried out, so I decided to go with a blue and yellow for some reason. I don't know, I just like these colors together, and they're two of my favorite colors of paints I have, so I felt like they would look good together. After I finished painting on the unicorn hair, I went back in with the white and I painted the bottom and I fixed anything that needed to be fixed. And I decided to paint the horn and some other details the same tan color that I've been using this whole video.
So original.
But I think it turned out good, so I'm glad I did it. Then I started painting on the mouth area and I started painting it on with a brush, but then I realized it was too hard to even out everything on both sides. So I switched to painting from the bottle. Oh my god, I sound like a medicine commercial.
So I switched to painting from the bottle. Painting from the bottle may cause side effects such as death, 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 and or death.
Now I'm going back and fixing anything else that got messed up. And now I'm doing the face. For the design for the face, I just wanted to go with a simple, awkward looking look, if that makes sense. I also wanted the nose to be a little bit messy and not completely perfect, if that makes sense. And I painted the inside of the ears with the light pink color. I also added little highlights to the eyes, and now looking back on that, I kinda don't like them. Well, too late now. I decided to paint around the horn with the same exact brown color I used for the face. I think this detail made it look even cuter than it already was. And here is the finished squishy. I actually really like the way this one turned out. It has that little awkward look I was going for, and I really love it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on my post notifications. And also make sure you follow me on everything else. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. I love you guys. Bye.